What up, Alina? And guess what? We are those motherfuckers!
What perfect timing on those videos. Like, Boomtown's right around the corner. Jock Peterson's in Atlanta right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frolfcenter, presented by Frolfer Magazine. What's up? I'm Austin Lytle. Adam, Cody, what up, boys? What are we doing?
What's up, man? Nothing. I got a fun beer tonight I want to tell you guys about. I just got back from New York, and I went to this place called Strange Design Public House. My buddy Adam Falls is the manager there. I think he's one of the owners, too. They had this Pilsner I got called one night, brought it back, smuggled it in from New York, and it's pretty tasty. So I had to give them a
nice.
shout out.
It's just Coke samples, right?
What's that?
It's just liquid samples, right?
Oh, liquid samples. Yeah, yeast samples. I smuggled them back
yeast
in.
Samples.
Like I'm a scientist. Yeah.
Nice.
If
you look
TSA
like a scientist.
I'm a fucking scientist. Yeah, for sure.
You act the part. What up, Cody?
I guess. I got a PhD.
Oh, living the dream. Shaved the head today.
Yesterday, but it's all good.
Yeah. I want to let everybody know they are in a treat for Boomtown. I've got a very wonderful suit picked out. I think you guys know what it is, but it is a lot different. It is out of this country, out of this world, maybe. Even.
Okay. I'm excited to hear about it. That's going to be...
That's all I got. Great to see you guys. Glad to be back.
Yeah.
Great hat, Austin. Great hat.
Yeah, that is good. Have a day.
Have a day.
All right, real quick before things get too crazy. Hotlanta is this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to be there now, Austin, right? You signed up finally?
Dude, I have been signed up, and Courtney called me yesterday. This is a hilarious story I have not even told you, gentlemen.
No, I noticed I didn't see your name there, and then I did.
Well, you didn't see my name on the PDGA registration or the disc golf scene registration, but you saw my name on the PDGA.
Oh,
somebody has gotten a hold of my disc golf scene account or some sort, and my name had been changed to Sandra Moss.
That's what that was.
Sandra Moss in the PDGA on the PDGA website was PDGA number 56469, who is Austin Lytle.
Yeah,
had just had their name changed, and somehow there was a Sandra Moss mixed up in the MPO division. And
I saw Sandra Moss and was a little confused, but I didn't register that was your PDGA number.
That was my PDGA.
So
for this weekend, I will be Sandy. If anybody wants to call me Sandy, you can reach out, yell at me, Sandy. That is me.
With a mustache,
and I will be having a day.
So check it again right now, everybody. In case somehow switched back to Sandy Moss.
Did it again.
I don't know.
No, see what happens. But we're going to be out there vending. First of all, Courtney's doing some cool stuff. She's got Easter eggs out there, and if you get an Easter egg, there's prizes in there with the vendors. All the vendors will be at Dundee on Sunday. And so we're going to have a little booth out there. We're giving away like 4 hats and 4 towels. So
dope.
It's going to be good shit.
Yeah, all the Easter eggs probably won't be on my course, but I will see you on Sunday to redeem them.
Yeah, I just found out I'm not even playing Tyus. I'm playing the compound instead, so that's going to be real interesting. I've never played there, so we'll see. Only other big news I got before we get to Mr. Ryan Harris should be on here any minute, hopefully. Dark Ace Apparel is coming down here Monday. Nice. They're going to be in Atlanta for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, they're going to be out at Redan for JoJo's League, doing some vending out there. Tuesday, they're set up to go vend up at OP with the boys up in Cobb County. Wednesday, I've reached out to Leon, but he hasn't gotten back to me. So Martin or Adam Martin or Martin Molly, if you're watching, put a bug in that dude's ear, tell him to get back at us so we can get that set up for those guys. I think that means next Tuesday we might be doing Frolfcenter live from Oregon Park somehow. So,
ooh, sweet.
That might be fun.
Sign me up. I might try to make it.
Okay, that'd be fun. That'd be a good one. You, me, and George just hanging out throwing bombs off the deck there.
Only a 2.5 hour drive for Austin.
Did you guys happen to catch the match play?
I caught some of it. I caught the highlights. Own taking it out was nice.
I wasn't very, it wasn't that exciting this year. They didn't hype it up or anything.
I mean,
Yeah,
the course in particular was pretty nice. It looked like a bunch of big elevation bombs and at very high elevation at that.
Oh yeah, because I saw that one like 625 foot smash by Joel Freeman on like the Anheuser the whole way almost.
Yeah, that's a whole one. Thing. Yeah, that's insane for a whole one, bro. 625 feet.
Yeah, and he skips it up, flashes the basket almost.
Yeah, it rolls to it a little bit inside circle.
I saw Owen Scoggins crushed. That was good.
Yeah,
I didn't. That was great. Ice in the veins.
Like I said, it just wasn't that exciting this year compared.
Dude, is it match play? Is match play the issue?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was just like Cody said, it wasn't hyped up enough.
They didn't hype it at all, and Alden was a part of it, so I watched every minute of Alden.
Yeah. Of Alden's play. Yeah, I did as well.
But that's the only time I heard about it. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know.
Yeah, KJ and Joel were the final two, and Joel ended up winning. But I mean, it's all. Did
you see the Big Jump press conference with him and KJ?
Yeah,
that was funny.
Oh, that was good.
I enjoyed it. He was like, this guy talks so serious, but then he stares right at me right after. He gives me a backhanded compliment and then stares right at me.
All right. Are you ready to introduce our guest, Mr. Austin, since you know this gentleman the best?
Yeah, I guess I should because he writes my checks every week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the owner of Planet Earth Designs. I should say Planet Earth Designs. This is Mr. Ryan Harris.
What's up?
What's up, buddy? Let me get you on the big screen here somehow or another. There we go.
Ryan,
hold on. Are we
shades or no shades?
Cool now, Ryan. We're too cool now.
I don't want to talk about it. I did not have a say in this. I don't even want to go there.
Maybe we should have shades.
I'll wear them with you, though. I'll always wear them.
I tried to share a picture at the last minute, but I don't know if it got through. Harris, you want to give everybody the update on what's going on with Mosley?
Yeah, sure. Turn you guys up a little bit. So Mosley got put out to bid. They put out the clearing portion out to bid last year, and that was kind of a standalone thing. And while it was nice to get that completed, it took them a while to kind of put the rest of the project out to bid for the construction of the T-pads and basket signage. And then aside from the course-related construction, they're also going to be installing some shade structures and some retaining walls and things like that. And so they got one bid and they accepted it. A company down in Henry County that's been working down there for a lot of years. They sound competent, which is always a good thing. And I think they're going to do a pretty solid job. They had to get a couple new bridges approved, some pretty big, substantial bridges. So that just happened, and the contractor is supposed to break ground in the next week or two.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
They haven't expected date of completion yet, or no?
The longest lead time was the bridges, which was a 12-week lead time.
Okay.
I think the shade structures were like an 8-week lead, so that's before they can even get those items. So they have plenty of work to do up until they do those things. So it's not like they're going to wait to start the whole project. They could be chipping away on T-pads and baskets and signs. So I think that's the plan for now, is work on those items while they're waiting on these other structures to be delivered.
I heard the baskets got kind of surprise auctioned off too.
Yeah.
Tyson got his, but they were all gone. He had to go through the guy who bought them all, and County didn't give any notice, so they were like, oh, all of a sudden they go.
Yeah, I mean, it is county's property, so, but yeah, a little heads up would have been nice. It sounds like somebody snagged them all, though, and then cycled them back through, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Really, that's interesting.
I think we'll get into that a little bit later on about people just buying baskets and putting up courses. But you also worked on the signage on DeKalb Memorial, right?
Yeah, working on it. I've sent them the first color proof for those, and I'll just say that if you're a Yellow Jackets fan, you're not going to like looking at these the T-pad signs at every tee.
Oh no!
It's a little bit of a in honor of the champs, Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh,
That's
go Dogs.
painful ITP, my man. That's painful ITP. We don't take kindly to that.
I think that he only does it on ITP projects, really.
Yeah,
That's so dirty.
We did a project on Georgia Tech campus a few years back, a big planting project, and they designed some pink camellias, and I was able to get them to swap out to approve some nice red camellias, and they're there on campus.
You play dirty, man.
Sneaky like that.
You play dirty.
So, obviously, you've designed several courses for us in Georgia. Can you tell us about anything behind the scenes? Like, are you getting more offers from cities? Are you seeing more disc golf growth within the city parks around the area? I know you're always searching the boards, and then I'm sure Austin has something to add to this, but have you seen just more overall growth from the city aspect?
I think there's a positive trend going that way, but I mean, as you guys know, there's still so many people that have never heard of disc golf.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people work with these city and county municipalities, so you don't know what you don't know. If there's nobody within your management group of your city, and you have a random guy come up and say, "Hey, you guys heard of disc golf? You should maybe put a course in at this park," and they're going to be like, maybe do a quick Google search. Looks harmless. It looks easy. Looks low impact, and next thing you know, you got a new course in, just kind of out of nowhere.
Generally how it works, right?
Yeah, I want to ask you, because I think I'm like foreseeing this happening soon, maybe in the next 5-6 years. But do you think we hit a point in the growth of disc golf compared to the rate of the growth of how many courses we have, that we end up getting this like skate rat reputation? Like the kids that hang out skateboarding, they're all over the place. Like, are we going to overcrowd the parks and piss off the neighbors anytime soon? Are we reaching that threshold yet?
That's a great question, and I mean, I could argue it's already happened at certain places where it maybe wasn't enough space to really do it, or the space wasn't separated enough from the other park uses. So yeah, I mean, I think that's always going to be a part of it, and going to continue to be part of it, and that's why I think there's some people who are advocating for disc golf moving forward having its own space, its own designated space. I'd argue even its own designated space with buffers, significant buffers to the other areas if possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of wonder. I remember going through that, and then all of a sudden, because there are going to be some tie-dye, dope-smoking, craft beer, can-crushing guys out there, does disc golf take a ding in the reputation because we can't keep up with the courses we need because the sport is too popular? I just wonder about.
Well, I think the course that's been most affected by not that, but just being around a community like White Oak, I think they lost like 4 baskets.
They lost a couple of holes. Parker's Pasture, Wills Park. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, they've had some issues in the past with it.
And that's just around Metro Atlanta. I mean, if you look at this topic on a countrywide, worldwide scale, I mean, it's probably hundreds and hundreds of scenarios that are kind of repeating themselves.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ryan, where does disc golf fall into like the insurance pantheon for a Parks and Rec department? Is it something like basketball, or does it fall into a more passive activity?
Man, that's a great question. Obviously, there's projectiles that can escape the space, and the projectile can do damage. So I would say it's probably more on par with like a baseball field, because a baseball field has a defined edge of the fence, but as we all know, baseballs somewhat regularly leave that defined area.
Yeah.
Go Braves.
Yeah, I just always wonder. You're thinking about it's things that if somebody has to go to their parks department and say, "Hey, we'd like to bring in this amenity. Here, where it is comparable in insurance terms or something." So just curious about it.
It's a good question. Is it more on par with a skate park? I wouldn't think so. I would think a skate park or like a community pool has a much higher rate to be able to operate something like that.
Yeah, skate parks. I knew when I worked on getting a skate park in Kennesaw, and we knew that the insurance was the level up from basketball, baseball, football, soccer field. It was like one. It was another up there. Like having go.
I feel like the insurance would be relatively low too, to disc golf. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just my question.
Pool insurance is so low, man. Don't even worry.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Yeah.
I thought your question was it's an interesting question asking about the skate parks and skate culture, and I think there's a pretty good parallel, which is when I was a 12, 13-year-old skater punk, we didn't have places to go skate. So we skated in everybody's way, on the stair sets at the grocery store, and on the ledges at the park, and I think that era of skateboarding really caused that general negative outlook towards skaters and skater punks, and get the hell out of here. I don't think it's going to be to that extreme with disc golf, but probably a little bit.
I bet you there's some Dupree Park walkers that absolutely hate disc golfers.
Or Swanee Creek that had,
or
nice
Swanee
little
Creek for that matter, yeah.
Winding around where the course now, has holes that the pathway plays as the border of the hole.
Correct.
Or, for me, it's even worse. They might not even go there anymore. They just abandon their favorite place to walk because they don't want to deal with it.
Right. There was a set of disc golfers out there, and they accidentally got hit, and now they
and
never
we
want
won't
to
even
go
talk
there
about
again.
parking spaces. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's not even your purview, man. Oh my god. How many parking spaces are perfect for an 18-hole course? Popular 18-hole course. How many parking spaces you want in that parking lot?
I know.
At least 6, right?
At least 6.
It's been an issue at I know at Little Mulberry they had to disallow a tournament on the same weekend where they were trying to have a big event because of the parking issues.
Oh yeah.
I even heard Boundary Waters had a lot of parking.
Yeah, they've had to.
I don't understand
a new
that.
lot now, and so people still have to park in the grass. It's
really
park anywhere you want.
Wow.
I guess it's changed, but
It's park in the grass and hope your car doesn't get hit by a disc on 18 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Harris. How much is disc golf part of your career? And how far do you see it going? I mean, I know the answer to this, but I think we need to give the people.
It's been a steady part of my professional career since Alexander Park. My first year out of school, that project came into the company I was working at, and I got asked about it immediately because my boss knew I played disc golf. So that was 2007. So on that project, we brought Doug Porter on, and Doug was a great mentor to kind of show me the basics, if you will, and tell me about a guy named John Houck and go on his website and read his stuff. And at that time, Houck had all these journals logged on the website where you could, kind of get inside his head and read what he was thinking as he's walking properties and going through his design process and things to consider and things to not do. And so that was really helpful. And I remember printing all that out, making a folder and highlighting all this stuff. And it's kind of nerdy, but I really dove in.
The word of John. Yeah.
The word of John.
But ultimately, I was just trying to learn, right? And I was trying to get better at what I saw to be a craft. I was always really interested in skate park design, and I was trying to get into that around that time. And this seemed to be an interesting parallel of something I was also into. So yeah, Doug kind of showed me some good basics of course design, and then
Are we going to keep doing this kind of shit? Are we going to keep doing maybe like a course a year? Maybe let's shoot for that.
I think so.
Every 2 years.
I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of tire kickers out there still.
You can always redesign something too.
Yeah, I mean, we participated in a redesign of Central Park, and you know, I'm always willing to help lend knowledge and try to help people. I've done a handful of free consults this year, just trying to go out and help people think about things a little differently and consider things maybe they hadn't considered. But yeah, I do think there will be more paid design jobs in the future. If the right construction jobs come along, we'll certainly bid on them. So yeah, I think the industry is trending that way, but I also think there will always be municipalities who just don't really know anything about it, and so they're just going to try to throw in a course. Like, that's always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Brook Run, I think, was one of those. Like, we'll throw these down and they'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's not exactly it. I mean, I know this last part with Henry County was extremely. It seemed almost like seamless, but like, talk about how easy and how hard it is to deal with the city and county, like going forward with projects. How much is that a part of it?
I think it's a big part of it. I think there's people out there that are trying to do like trade shows. You know, Disc Golf Park and Innova, they attend trade shows regularly to try to educate these decision makers at municipalities and even state level. Teach them about disc golf, let them know there's professional design services, and ultimately I appreciate that those guys are doing that, and I think Hauck does a little bit of that as well. I don't necessarily have the drive or the time to go to trade shows.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe down the road we do a little bit more of that. We'll see. But yeah, dealing with the counties, knowing how to talk to them, knowing what to tell them, what they need, and how to get to the finish line in the right manner. I think that's all very critical.
Is there one thing you always have to try to convince them of that they don't want to do ever? Is there like one sticking where you're like, you really need to do this, and I know you really don't want to, but you really got to do this? Is there one of those things?
The bigger projects we've been involved on have all usually been like pretty good as far as the municipality allowing enough space and having a budget to pull it off. Mm-hmm. You know, rarely was it like, we're adamant that we're going to, jam 18 holes in the small park with all these other
6 acres. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I've certainly done consults where it was kind of like that. And my recommendation was that either don't do 18 holes or find a bigger property.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
All right.
I mean, like, so, all right, last one. I already know your favorite disc golf course designer is Hauck, and I'm not going to ask that question, but what's the difference between possibly unsafe and probably unsafe in disc golf course design?
Probably, if you have to think about it, right, it's probably unsafe.
It's obviously a gray area. I mean, what's the wind situation? How much headwind are we dealing? What's the spray pattern of a full power throw downhill with a headwind? Obviously, the spray pattern can get pretty crazy,
Oh, I've been in MA3. I know what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great
a long time down there. Yeah.
That's a great point. Really, I feel like the people you need to plan for or design around is the people who've just been playing for a year and have the body strength to chuck a disc, but don't necessarily have the control to keep it in the area they're trying to throw it.
Right.
I don't think that's entirely fair because you watch. I mean, I was watching the tournament 2 weekends ago, and plenty of guys that are top tier professionals are still throwing out of bounds and well out of bounds in some cases. So once you can throw far, it could really get away from you.
Yeah.
individuals.
So I think we have a viewer question.
Mm-hmm. Billy Donovan, do you see more pay-to-play courses in the future of disc golf? Do you think that segment's going to grow?
Absolutely. But there's got to be a draw. One, it needs to be close enough to a populace, a good sized populace, I think, to be sustainable. And there needs to be something there that you can't get on the other courses that are free near where you live. There needs to be a reason to go pay money.
Yeah.
Craft beer bar. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah, and if you look at other areas like Bay Area or San Diego, where there's just such limited space and there's so few courses, that I think you could have some very successful pay-to-play if you were able to have a draw. Metro Atlanta, where there's kind of endless space as you move away from Atlanta, it's got to be something really special, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. So getting a little harder here. A little harder questions. Do you feel like Atlanta, with the courses it has, the Metro Atlanta area, do you think it's ready for a huge event, whether that be a Worlds, AMs, a PGPP tour? Do you feel like we're ready? Are we there yet?
I think you could look at some places where they've had recent Worlds and say, we certainly have that, you know. Like the Fort course. What was that? Utah? Where was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fort seemed like a lot of kind of white level courses I played in a lot of places. It didn't seem to really have the right caliber of challenge and distance. I think there's plenty of courses scattered around Metro Atlanta that if you could jam them together in one area and put a hotel in the middle, you could have an epic Worlds. But you know the geography
just far enough out of reach.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah, could it be pulled off? Absolutely.
With the TDs and the community and
like when the horse park was in talks like a few years back, that would have been epic because it's like just outside of Atlanta's like crazy traffic. It was going to be 2 to 3 pretty sweet courses on site. There's hotels right there. There's plenty of space for other events. So, I mean, really you need that kind of space and acreage to pull off all the things that come with running a Worlds or, an NT or, Disc Golf Pro Tour or something.
No, but if somebody locally in that area would approach you about being willing to run a huge event, you would sign up, whether it be Boundary 1, 2, or 3, or what Kevin McCoy's got going on, or what Sam's got going on, plus OP maybe. You would give it the check mark, be like, we can do this.
I mean, sure. Why not go for it? I guess it could always be better. I just feel like that's really what we're missing is that, I mean, I know you could argue that IDGC kind of has that covered. It would be nice if there was maybe a
but IDGC is in Atlanta.
Yes, and nowhere close to Atlanta. But, it's like we need something like that within an hour of Atlanta to really kind of pull that off. To a high standard. And I think the horse park property really would have been it. And I think that's why a lot of people were excited about it. I mean, for those that went out there and actually walked it, it was a special piece of property with a lot of variety and a lot of space. And it would have been awesome. But I don't think it'll ever happen.
If you hear that horse park, there's 12 people watching. One of them could be a very important person, and they can help us out with it. So that's it. We do have another viewer question I want to put out there. It's from Chuck Bob. Do you see more courses being redesigned due to environmental changes based on current sustainability objectives?
Yes.
Damn,
absolutely.
he hasn't had a single beer yet. He typed all those words perfectly.
He just missed one, I think. Yeah.
A lot.
Thanks, Chuck Bob. Great question, Chuck Bob. Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing it at Wills. Not to say the course is responsible for the degradation of the creek bank, but it's certainly contributing to it. It doesn't help the giant course facility that's just shooting its poop-filled water into the creek as well.
And they rinse out every stall every week. I mean, where does all that water go?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, I think it's important to try to preserve the sensitive environments within a disc golf course. To me, that's thinking about your spray pattern around a creek and not having people just from the tee, just go in every direction around a creek and just trampling everything. Ultimately, that's going to end badly after a few years with foot traffic and erosion and trampling of vegetation and things like that.
No, yeah. I got a question for you, and this is one I've been thinking about a lot myself. But as disc golf grows, and the way disc golf grows, through the media of disc golf and the DGPT specifically, course design will reflect what we want to see on the DGPT, and then course design will then basically infect the way the game is played in the future. You know what I mean? The courses are going to get bigger and longer, so the discs have to get faster and the kids have to get better. Do you think the DGPT's focus on spectators and spectator access is going to negatively affect the way we play disc golf 15 years from now?
Jesus.
Is course design going to take that spectator thing in and spit it back out and steal a little bit of disc golf soul?
I think maybe temporarily right now we're seeing a little bit of that you're describing because they're choosing venues that already have that feature and that capability. But I also think that designers designing new courses are starting to think about that as well. So I think the course design will catch up to the need that you're talking about.
Gotcha. Yeah, I fear that we're going to take the woods out of it for the sake of the cameras, and then we're going to lose a lot of what disc golf was. And then
Well, you're wrong.
Okay. Well, in the vein of responsible course design, do you think I'm a rube here, is there or should there be some accreditation program for course designers at the top levels of the game? Is there even like course design school at this point? How does this work? How do you become a course designer? Do you apprentice?
You should.
You should have to. Is that what you're saying? There should be an apprentice program, right?
There is currently nothing. I do think, and the closest thing we get to that is if you're a member of the disc golf course designers group. And
how many people are in that? A couple hundred?
Yeah, a couple hundred, and it is.
I mean, I pay $75 to be a professional in disc golf.
Yeah, well, I paid how much money and had to have very slim requirements in 2012 to join the disc golf course designers group. Basically, I had to show an interest of being a course designer.
Yeah, dude, I've designed 2 full courses at Fairways of Canton, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I listen to Austin and Phil Arthur and Dylan.
So is that like the one thing you can put on your resume as a disc golf designer? Is there a school people go to? Is there any other what are the resume pieces for somebody who's like, I'm educated in disc golf course design?
Yeah, in 2014, I think the PDGA hosted a course designers convention down at the IDGC, and my business partner and I were both signed up to go, and my wife went into labor with her first child the day before, so I was not able to attend. Fickle drove down and went solo, and I think Ricker went down as well. And they did. It was one and done. They did it. It was successful. They had a huge turnout, and then never did it again. It was like, what?
We're same thing with the tournament.
Sell it to the DGPT.
It's probably after that they redesigned IDGC Jackson, and they were like, "Oh, we should never teach anybody how
we screwed this up.
We should never offer opinions on designing courses."
Yeah, I hope Zach Schaefer wasn't like the head.
No, he had options. He had others as well.
Nice. And then put on a handful of workshops, they called them, and the ABCs of course design, and I flew up to New York for one of those. Drove to a second one. I missed one out in Sailor Ranch in Texas. So they did that for a couple years, and then they stopped doing it because I don't know if they thought it might be detrimental to the brand.
It's a little bit cannibalistic to just give away how to do it, right?
Kinda. I think their intentions were good, of trying to spread the good word of quality course design but yeah, for whatever reason, they stopped doing that, and so now there's literally nothing. There's just pretty much people that say, "Hey, hire an experienced course designer," and that's kind of all you can see.
I did these two, and they're in a busy park, so here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
There you go. Okay.
I have, I'm a licensed design professional, but I do not think that entitles me to call myself a course designer.
Okay.
Good for you.
I've certainly seen licensed landscape architects who did not know disc golf do poor jobs at designing courses.
Right.
So
not everybody thinks about the way the water flows from a hole and everything.
That's not something a lot of people say, because I'll be the first one to tell you, I have no fucking clue. I've watched the best tournaments of the world. I've filmed the best tournaments in the world. I've filmed everybody play. I have all this input in my life for the past 8 years, just absorbing knowledge. No, I don't want to design your world-class course. Absolutely not. Whereas you, even though you say that, I feel like you could do it because you're smart enough to realize the situations. But even for you to say that, you're like, hey,
for me, Ryan,
I'm not the most qualified, but it's good to hear.
Well, I mean, you get on your little blurb you posted, you said something like a top level course designer. Like I'm trying to be that down the road, but a lot of these guys have 100 course designs under their belt, and talking about experience in every scenario. I mean, that's who you want on your designing your world's courses. When you look at my resume, it's measly compared to those guys. So.
Well, I was trying to make sure everyone was happy about it, so yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just I'm trying to pump everybody up. I do want to play a fun game with some folks in the comments here. If you guys would let us know what your favorite hole in the Atlanta area is, I want to ask Ryan what he would change about it.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. Right. But so you guys can start loading that up. We got some other questions. I'll pick them out after you load them up in there for us.
I have a favorite hole.
Do you have a favorite? You want to start there? Okay.
Yeah, it's the Perkerson one by the creek that Martin almost got the roller ace.
So it's along the floodplain on the grass. The creek's on your left.
Yeah, before you have to walk up the hill.
Yeah,
yep, 11.
A group of trees right down by the basket.
There's one big tree and there's some behind it now.
Okay. I'm lefty. I'm a lefty, so I throw a lefty hyzer out over the creek.
You're going out over the creek? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it last time, man. I do like the hole, and I like the shot shape that it forces for righty. That kind of long flip and fade back a little bit at the end. What would I change about it? What's the proximity to the number one? Does it throw kind of over it a little bit?
No, it's not close enough to one. It's
you can't change it.
14 coming down and 11 coming together can get within 120 feet of each other. So 14 is the one coming down.
Oh yeah, past the green. Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of overlap there. I know I've seen righty throwing down that hill, hyzer out, kind of on the backside of that green. So,
yeah.
I mean, maybe, So, would you shorten the one by the creek? Possibly, but that's such a good hole. It's like, or do you change the angle that you throw down the hill maybe to minimize the overlap there a little bit? But I think there's still a pretty good buffer between those holes to where it's not like a deal breaker. If that was a creek in its natural state, I could maybe argue that, hey, let's pull this off the creek a little bit to where not so much play is in there. But they have the stone walls, so it's pretty stable.
Yeah, and you're not the water's never high enough to be. I'm going to fall. Just see it and not. Yeah. It's not that dangerous.
Sorry, I picked like the worst hole because that's like the perfect hole.
Oh, but no, it's not the perfect. I'm going to say
It's pretty perfect.
I'll say for the sake of argument, I'd like to hear what you might change about hole 3 gold to gold at Oregon Park.
1, 2.
Very long with 670 feet uphill toward the tennis courts.
Who asked
double
that
wishbone?
Yes, towards the tennis.
Who asked it?
Is it a par? It's not the par 4, is it?
Par 4.
Okay, yeah. So you're throwing out a chute, kind of uphill into a field, and then kind of up over the hill.
Yeah.
A down sloping green. Yeah. Okay. I would really like a better lefty play on that hole.
Yeah, because you got nothing. You can't flip something in the late gap. Yeah.
We're asking the wrong
uphill.
Sounds like you need a thumber, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're asking the wrong question.
The lefty, he's going. This is out. It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's that hole could, and as the spray patterns and buffers become even more in play on a par 4 because off the tee your disc goes here, and then off the second shot your disc, it's the possibility of all the places the disc could go. There could be a little more buffer on that hole.
Do you feel like it's a pretty easy par 4, or do you feel like it's a harder par 4?
I bet the guys.
I know you haven't played it that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's the other side of town. I've played it a handful of times, and I think I have birdied it, but a lot of times I'm just scoring a par. I'd imagine the blue and gold level players that are right-hand, backhand, that play it a lot, probably get the birdie more often than not, I would guess.
Well, the highest rated disc golfer out there is a lefty player.
Who's that?
Zach Smith.
Oh, Zach. Yeah, it'd be Zach, comment what your birdie grade
Zach, where are you at? Help
There
me
you
out.
birdie grade on that hole.
Billy Donovan says hole 3 at Sequoia, but he spelled it like the tree.
I swear to God, if you guys ask the old hole 3 or the new hole 3,
I have no idea what hole 3 is.
Okay. He says this might help us figure. I just love running uphill on a tee pad. Does that clear it up? That's new hole 3.
Okay, I'm thinking through 1, 2.
Long guy.
that would be old hole 1.
Oh,
The long one, right?
Right?
Yeah, like that. There's no really safety concerns with it. It's just
Throw it as hard as you can with the most overstable disc, side on. Or lefty. Sorry, Ryan.
Lefty. Yeah, there you go.
Good lefty hole. I mean, it's just a little uphill lefty hyzer at it.
Yeah.
It's not a great opening hole. It's not a bad opening hole. What would I change about it? It'd be nice to lengthen it a little bit and maybe open up maybe if you could scoot the tee back and the basket back a little bit and open up the gap a little bit, be able to have a little more variety. I like a hole 1 where while you're waiting on your buddy, you could throw a bunch of discs at it.
Yeah. That's always. I think that I like having the first hole be something you can just rip a few, if you need to, if you're out there by yourself.
And I'm still thinking back,
You good for a couple more of these like backhanded comment questions? We got Chuck Bob wants to know about. I don't know if you know this one. Hole 16, Haywood Valley, mountaintop par 4.
Yeah, so you're playing down the chute into the big field, right?
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What would I change on that? Yeah, I think, and that's a par 4. So
Not much. Just change the par.
Yeah, or lengthen it a bit to make it a little bit more of a legit four.
It starts to push into the next tee box a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we were looking at these as like standalone.
No, because he rearranged the last hole. So no, give him free.
Yeah, I think lengthening it to where, because if you have a controlled, decent distance drive, the approach is fairly easy on that hole, right? Unless you're tucked behind a tree.
You have to be pretty clean through that tee shot.
Target.
Yeah, and that tee shot's grown in a lot over the years too.
But they just trimmed it up, but it's still pretty tight. Like all the trees are very much matured.
Yeah, they're taller. You used to be able to kind of go over the top of those, and now
correct. Now it's kind of forced through the middle.
Yeah, I mean it's a challenging enough tee shot that if you get clean and you get a full flight, I think having the easy approach is fine. But there's some soft spots on that course. I think that's what makes it so fun and approachable. So I definitely don't hate it. Yeah, but if I were to do anything, maybe lengthen it just a little bit, make people work just a little harder for the birdie on the approach.
All right, I got two quick ones from JP Mosley. Hole 3 on the West 9, which I don't think a lot of us have seen. Anything you change about that? We haven't even seen it yet.
I don't think Al House has played it, has he?
I don't, and I'm sure he's walked it. No, I don't think.
I guess he is friends with Henley and the boys.
Yeah, what would I change on it? I don't know.
It'd be done already? Yeah.
Get rid of that stupid throw out over the water shot because that's not even really an option.
Oh, you're going to throw it one day and you're going to be like, gosh, that's brilliant.
Ryan is so smart. I got to text him right now and remind him how smart he is.
Oh, I love it.
And you've got to be, you're a typical Hauk protege in the fact that you want to offer a sucker route.
So it's called the replayability of a hole is how he terms it. And the idea is that if you land in a slightly different spot than you normally do, you can choose a different adventure. And so
that's a good way to put it, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, say you played it every day, and say 4 days in a row you landed where you have the look out over the water, but chose not to do it. And then that 5th day you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm going for it today. So that's the idea, is you give people options, and when people have options, one, it challenges them to think about the shot and what they want to choose to do. But also it kind of empowers the player to be able to make that choice and not have to, not just, okay, here's the one fairway, hit it or not. It's like, okay, well, I can choose to play it a little shorter and have a different option.
That was kind of our guest point last week. He said that he just likes a change in variety, so he decided to change his home course up a lot.
Yep.
And he always wanted to change the baskets and do different things, so he decided to put a basket on a 10-foot pole, and that's an equalizer.
And get out of here with the equalizer. Here's my other favorite one. This is Greg Stone talking. He's talking about Mosley, but he said nose because of autocorrect. Hole 8, downhill into the field and over the creek to the green, par 4. I'd love to hear this. This is one of my favorite holes as well.
Par 5 on hole 8, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite holes as well. What would change? I'd love to reroute that path over into the woods through that whole section. That'd be nice.
You could just make it an actual par 4 and shorten the tee.
Yeah, but I mean that's why the hole is so fun, because you're so far up that hill, so far up the chute. But at this point, the locals have made a new hole that is almost 350 feet away from the tee box now. And you're saying the par 4 on hole 7? Is that what you're talking about? Or yes, the new pin position on hole 7 is now close to 350, 400 feet away from the tee box.
That is true. That is they don't use that new pin position a whole lot, I don't think.
Well, we played it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, was it there a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but do you have the option to play the par 3 or the par 4?
And now that the new baskets are in, I don't know. I haven't been back since.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean that's a haul back up that hill if you're going to play the par 4.
I think in exchange for that hole, if you're going to do it, you might as well just make hole 8 a par 4 and make the tee pad shorter.
Yeah, but then that kills the epicness of that.
All right. Oh,
it does. It does 100%. But it's what's the point of making that 400-foot point? It is my point. Is this argument Why are we making the previous hole further away from the tee pad of the more epic hole? Because you would agree 8's more epic than 7, correct?
There you go. Yeah.
Even as a lefty.
You start ranking, yeah. So
correct.
Why is Dupree the hardest course in Georgia? I don't know.
Because it's a par 2.
Yeah. Ryan, what is your opinion on the hardest course in Georgia?
I played it once, and
is
that
it
was.
Dupree Park?
Is it per par? Sure.
Yeah, per par.
Yeah, I mean.
There we go. That's all I needed to hear.
I've also shot in one over at Dupree and shot in 15 over at WR Jackson. So I think WR Jackson is definitely harder.
True.
Yeah, if you could mandate
the hardest to get under par, I guess I would.
To get under par, correct. That is the words.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the world, hardest course to be under par.
Yeah, and I think that's something you're going to see more of is par 2 courses, ace place, whatever, micro course. The different companies are calling them different things, but basically it's fitting short holes into a small space. And
at what point should you say let's have a par 2 over an actual course, like a par 54 course?
Back to your question earlier of possibly unsafe versus probably unsafe, or possibly going to cause an issue or probably going to cause an issue. Yeah.
I would probably say Dupree is the most problematic disc golf course in Georgia.
Ooh, I've had non-disc golfers tell me they've been hit by disc golf discs from Dupree.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was pretty surprised, honestly, when I first went there. I wasn't expecting it to be that on top of everything else.
Yeah,
McCurry may be a close second. McCurry's kind of on top of everything now too, and McCurry was a different design before as well. But McCurry's tough to play these days, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which is a bummer. McCurry was a lot of fun. Is it for
Will's is pretty rough, or it used to be. I don't know.
It still is.
Now
it still is
redesigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's tough also when a course at one time is, thoughtfully laid out around the uses, and then the park comes back and adds uses on top of the course. That's a whole different animal, and that's another part of education for these people of, if you're going to do that, maybe consult somebody before you just go and, put a walking path through this hole or, put a playground right by the
Forsyth County at Chattahoochee Point. I will let you know, though, Ryan, they have restored all the walking paths at Chattahoochee Point. It's nice. No.
I saw that. Yeah, they pushed it back away from 11 and 12. I was excited to see that.
I was so excited to see it. There was so many people out at the walking path yesterday, and I noticed they were walking way around.
I haven't heard this park, Rose Lane Park. I don't know this one. Yeah, people throwing at each other every other hole. Oof. I don't know what that is.
Rose Lane.
Where are we at?
Rodan?
No. The schedule over here.
Oh, we're anywhere we want to be in the schedule. I think right here.
You want fun cues or dope or nope?
Dope. No. What? Is there any holes you would change right now if you could in Atlanta?
In Atlanta. Wow.
Like, is there something that just bugs the ever-living hell out of you? You just gotta be like, I wish.
Oh, that is a great question.
Anytime, anytime that like a road or a pathway is the fairway, like I've been thinking differently for so long that when I see that, it just seems it seems very lazy to me. That's what it is. It seems like, you can throw a disc through this clearing in the woods. Oh, you don't think that, that's because there's a sidewalk in the clearing in the woods. And it's like, we can throw a disc here. Let's make it a disc golf hole. To me, that's just lazy. It's
specific hole lately? Anything you want to call out?
No, not really. Just general principles.
No, it'll come to fruition later on.
Got him. Dope or nope?
Dope or nope. Okay, we got a dope or nope for you. Have you played? You've not played dope or nope with us yet, have you?
I watched it for the first time last week.
Oh yeah, you were getting prepared. So yeah, you do not get to explain your answers. You can only say dope or nope, and then we have you forever. Okay. So dope or nope? Trees inside the circle.
Dope.
Dope. Okay. Dope or nope? OB inside the circle?
No.
No, I like that answer. Visors.
Yes. This man used to break dance. He used to wear a visor upside down and break dance.
We give him dope. Okay. Guys who use baby strollers for disc golf carts. Not the guys, the stroller carts themselves. Guys can be cool.
No.
Dope?
No.
No.
No. Okay, good. That's all I got for you right there. So those are your answers. We're going to hold those to you in perpetuity. Everyone screen cap this. Now we've got you.
I got one more.
You want to add one to that?
Yeah. Dope or nope, the contracts the new players have gotten, the $1 million deals and stuff. Dope, nope. You think it's worth it?
It's obviously fucking up, Cody.
Yeah, you got to go with dope.
Okay. Amended. There we go. That's the money sign on the bottom there. There we go.
All right, fun question time.
Has it changed?
You've been on the show several times. We'll give you one more chance to answer celebrity doubles partner. Alive or dead?
I'm going to go with Sandler.
Yeah.
Sandler. It sounds like a fun day.
Who?
All right, and then who's the one pro you would want to design a course with?
Oh, man. Do they have to already be an established designer?
No, I don't.
No, just a professional disc golfer. Who would you want to design with?
Arnold Palmer.
What about Arnold Palmer? Sorry.
You could choose Arnold Palmer.
Pro. I don't know. I think maybe somebody like Nate Sexton seems to have a pretty good analytical.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be.
Yeah.
You guys would be complete buddies.
It just people seem to have an analytical way of thinking, and that's always nice to be able to ask a question to somebody, and they can kind of give you a mathematical reason as to why or why not. I really appreciate that.
All right. What's the new favorite food place to go to?
With or without kids.
Give me without kids because I don't have any.
Yeah.
There's a sushi place in downtown Roswell called Monkey 68 that is just the best sushi, best good drinks, good ambiance.
Is that right on the road?
It's on 8 Road.
Like Canton Street? Like right down the middle in downtown Roswell?
No, it's off to the side a little bit. It's a little side street. Not much.
Okay, I went to some sushi place right off Canton Street in downtown, and it was not good.
Oh yeah, try Monkey. It's the best.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta know. What's your favorite course right now in the area? What are you playing the most? What are you having the most fun at?
In the area.
Man,
last time I got a full round in at JP Mosley was pretty fun.
Okay.
I bet it was. Ryan.
Goodie but a goodie, right?
I bet it was, Ryan.
Are you guys gonna ask it?
No, we're not asking any more about that.
What's the worst course in Georgia?
Oh,
the worst course in Georgia? I mean, I think we've already touched on it, just because of the lack of its own space.
Yeah.
Swanee Creek. Who would play Ryan Harris in a movie?
Owen Wilson?
Oh yeah!
Wow! This one's Cody. This one's not me. That's a normal Cody question.
Shit, sorry. Oh, what's the best course in Georgia?
The best course in
Crucible? Flyboy?
I mean, the best or my favorite?
I don't give a shit, Ryan.
The best. I want to hear the best.
Both.
What do you think is like just technically the best?
Just answer. Yeah.
Crucible.
Yeah, I mean,
Crucible.
multiple sets of tees and variety. Hobbs checks a lot of those boxes. Crucible, it's rubber mats and slightly sloped tees, but man, the and the setting and the design is awesome. So,
hey, speaking of Hauk, I want to ask this question. Would you ever sacrifice $70,000 in budget and revenue to build a bridge just to track back over a hole?
If it was,
Do you agree or disagree with that what he did there?
if it was exactly like you described, I would say no. Let's design it a different way. But if the
That's how it was designed. That's how it was disclosed to me. So
a lot of times it's hearsay. So I'll start there. But were they going to build some sort of boardwalk anyways, and the new course kind of fell in that.
Okay.
All I know is
well,
I want this guy designing my disc golf course.
I know Ryan never wants to ever talk badly about another designer, and that's how it was described to me. So that's how I asked the question. I know he probably agrees with it, and it was probably proper.
Should we just leave him frozen up there, though?
All right, last question. That's what I was going to ask. Are we frozen?
Yeah, he's frozen.
I'm sure his daughter kicked off the internet again. Ryan, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show.
8:30. I think
Minecraft. Yeah.
You said 8:30, man. The parental controls just went off at his house. Internet's over at 8:30.
Absolutely did. So thank you, Ryan, so much for coming on.
You guys have any questions for us? Austin?
Anybody in the chat? Yeah. Feel free. Let's get weird for 5 minutes.
I feel like Ryan's one of the people that actually has questions for us.
I know. It would have been good.
Only people that probably had like one question.
He actually asks me them every single day we work together. He's not oftenly at the job, so he's the designer of everything.
Wait, we got him back.
Sorry.
Hey, bud. Sorry.
Hey, there we go.
Please tell me Ruby turned off the internet again.
It just went dead.
Oh yeah.
That was weird.
All right, so we were at the end. Thank you.
I know.
So they didn't thank you.
We're going to completely avoid that $70,000 bridge question. All right.
Yeah. So
the point is on budget stuff is often only person that really knows the details of all that is when you're
So when you came on, they didn't thank you as much as you should have been thanked. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us your insight. You're one of the top. There's 3 course designers.
I said it on the internet. It's real now.
There's 3 course designers in Georgia: Huck, Kevin McCoy, and you. That's it. That's all.
Ricker's gonna get pissed.
Yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit. But yeah, there's 3 good course designers in Georgia. And Barfield, I guess there's 4, but
no.
We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that right now.
We're not doing that right now.
Do you have any questions for us at Frother Magazine? Please tell me you have at least something.
Have you guys thought about changing it to Frother Magazine?
Cody's been trying for 3 years to change it to Frother Magazine. For 3 years, he's been trying to change it.
I mean, it could
Anything else?
It could work.
He's going to throw his teeth at you at the next catch game. You're going to have to catch it.
I am curious though. What's next? What's next for Crawford?
Our 5-year plan looks the same, kid.
We're going to keep putting in less and less effort till people stop watching, and then we can quit. We're gonna start later and do less and less just until it's over.
Not wrong. That is literally the effort. That's it. That's our.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. This is fun. And,
thanks, Ryan.
Overall goal: try to spread some good common sense for course design. It's just we've come such a long way since
lids.
Yeah, it's just you want to see it
since the shit 5 years ago, dude.
And stop.
Shit is way better than 5 years ago.
Yeah. So that's the hope, and I do think it'll continue to trend that way. So just gotta keep spreading the word.
Perfect.
Hey, that's the
buddy.
good word, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Have a good one.
See you, man.
You
Bye.
too. Later, Ryan.
Hey, I'm sorry.
All right, that was fun. That was a good episode. That wasn't depressing at all at the end there. That's good. We're good. Yeah, that was great. I can't believe he froze for that long. That was fun.
Cody.
What's wrong? What? Okay, anyhow.
Take them to the jam and welcome to the Space Jam.
I love everybody.
Yeah, I think we're heading to next week live at Oregon Park. Austin, you ought to come by. We'll have a good time.
Dark Ace Apparel.
We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up with it.
Okay, cool. Bye. And
Do I have
who's
to
leaving?
leave?
Am I
Good
leaving?
luck, everybody in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Shoppers, can I get a fucking oh yeah? Thank you.